Remember when common sense was common? When standing up for what is right was the right thing to do? Welcome to the right side. Common sense conversations about Hawaii's political landscape and how it affects you, your ohana, and your community. Join us for the next hour as we cut through the political noise and look at Hawaii from the right side, where public officials and community leaders discuss the policies that affect our future, strategies that move the needle, and highlight leaders that are stepping up to make a difference. Get ready for the right side, a common sense conversation.
You know, Malia, it's kind of cool. You know, we're doing this radio show for about 4 weeks.
4 weeks, yes. It's our fourth week anniversary.
And it's cool. I want to thank Salvio for allowing us to do this because, you know, every day you get state issues, right, from state lawmakers. And on Wednesdays and Monday, you get people from the city. So I'm very, very appreciative to Salvio for allowing me to do this. Yes, it's Augie, and I know you probably listen to me in the morning on our sister station, 107.9 Decades. And yes, I'm jumping in on the AM format because there's a lot happening in our city that people got to be informed with. And I got like 3 people that's constantly informing the public. You know, it's so big now, right? Social media. And I thought, why don't we do a segment on social media? Because, it has a positive impact, in our world, including building community, connecting people to movements, and, also, raising awareness, because I think that's the biggest thing. For me, I think it's so important that our office continually, right?
Yeah,
Malia?
right.
Educating the public, being super transparent, yes, being truthful. And, when you're wrong, just admitting, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And I think people respect that. So, I like the fact that you guys are here because you guys, bring awareness on important issues. Social media influencers here in Hawaii have helped to solve crimes, alerted us to impending disasters, traffic accidents, and shine the light on other serious issues. Today we have 3 guests who many of you maybe recognize. Well, until we go live where everybody can see, you've seen something, a post they put up on social media. So Malia, you get to introduce our 3 panel of guests.
All right. Well, combined, they have a huge impact in Hawaii. First of all, we have Michael Kitchens, who runs Stolen Stuff Hawaii. How many of you have heard of that?
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone. It's the largest anti-crime group in Hawaii with more than 251,000 members across Facebook and Instagram. Since its creation in 2014, he's helped thousands of crime victims through Stolen Stuff Hawaii and has received local and national recognition for his impact. Michael's leadership in community advocacy has been recognized multiple times. He's received Outstanding Community Service Awards from the City and County of Honolulu in 2016 and 2019. He was named Outstanding Citizen of the Year by the Honolulu Police Department and the 200 Club in 2021 and received the Community Advocate Award from Weed and Seed Hawaii and the Liberty Bell Award from the Young Lawyers Division of the Hawaii State Bar Association. That is a lot of awards.
Yeah.
Originally from Texas, Michael is a retired United States Air Force combat armed weapons instructor and a disabled veteran. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
After his military service, he moved to Hawaii in 2004 and has been actively involved in community initiatives ever since.
Nice.
I think I wrote that a little too long. Sorry about that. I tend to write books.
Because I like Anela and I like Mark's bio.
Yeah. She's reading that back and like, man, I wrote too much again.
It's okay.
It's good. No,
It's interesting,
look,
actually, because we don't really get to know you other than you post things.
Yeah, because we
So-
see Stolen Stuff, but who's the guy behind Stolen Stuff? It's a good thing because, Mark and Anela, you guys become like overnight sensations. So you want to go ahead and introduce them?
Yes. All right, who does not know Mr. Mean? If you do not know Mr. Mean, Mark Talaeai, he's the guy who runs Mean Hawaii, and he's not mean. I just want to say, he's mean like bad,
Right.
like you're bad, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But he's not
yeah.
mean, like he's not a mean guy.
It's a lyric from LL Cool J. Like bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good or something like that.
He's kind of
anyway.
big, though.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So can I tell you more about him?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so he launched and I only know this because he wouldn't send me his bio, but we already honored him at the city council.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yes, of course.
So when Augie got into the city council, we had you come down, and you received a certificate, and we had to pull all the information out of him. So I still have it.
Good.
So it's he launched Me in Hawaii on Instagram in 2014 as an entertainment and comedic platform. His post quickly became a key source of breaking news on important to people of Hawaii. He became a beacon of light for his followers, shedding light on important topics such as human trafficking, bullying, suicide, and depression. In 2019, Mark started the Watch Your Kids Hawaii Facebook page, which has grown to thousands of followers, and he helps reunite missing children with their families. And of course, he also helps people that have lost pets and if property has been stolen. His followers have helped law enforcement identify perpetrators and aid victims. His Instagram page, I checked today, it's like 401,000 followers.
That's enough for what?
He uses his social media star power to bring awareness to key issues, to spread aloha, which he sure does, and encourage compassion, civility, and social responsibility.
Are you crying, dude?
Okay.
He's a soft.
Yeah.
He is. He is. That's awesome. And now he works at the state, and he does social media for Senator Awa
Yeah.
and a lot of the Republicans and in the Senate, right? Mm-hmm. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go, man. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, I've been a fan of this lady, and I was so happy that you got her, because one of the things that I appreciate about her, she's a single mom, right? Takes care of kids, but very passionate and like really explaining things in a simple way, very detailed, which I appreciate.
You know, that's a gift to be able to do that.
Yes.
All right. So Anela Lee is a Hawaii-based content creator, entrepreneur, and homeschooling mom, and she brought her daughters today. What are your daughters' names?
Makanale and Hilinai.
Nice. Her page originally focused on content creation, photography, and daily life, but recently she felt the need to speak up about issues affecting Hawaii and has moved her page in a completely different direction. What started as just sharing information turned into something bigger, and more people are becoming aware of what's happening, showing up, and even leaving testimonies for the first time. Through collaboration with other pages in the same space, she often saw how powerful social media could be in creating real change. Her goal is to keep people informed, engaged, and empowered to take action in their own communities.
That is awesome. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Come on.
Thank you.
All right, the number here is 808-913-6450. If you want to participate, maybe you got a question, maybe you want to be an influencer, maybe you just want to know how these guys find the things that you're finding, the resources. 808-913-6450. Again, this is Augie, and Malia Zimmerman is my co-host of Right Side today. All right, let's start it off, guys. How do you believe social media is making a positive impact in Hawaii? Who wants to take this one? Who wants to? All right, Mike.
Well, I think it's just the speed of information is the biggest part of it. You know, we started off, with the written word, then we transgressed the radio and into TV, and now we have social media. And social media is basically, it's like as they say, the coconut wireless, right? It's incredibly powerful. And it's given people a voice that they didn't have before. Before it was controlled by certain outlets or people, and now anybody with hard work and dedication can become a voice.
Yeah, awesome. Anybody want to expound on that? Anybody want to jump in?
Go ahead, Anela.
Yeah.
She's the example right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, not only are we reaching people in Hawaii, we can reach people all over the world
Right.
through social media. And just keep putting a positive impact on the things that we post and keeping people informed and making it easy for them to understand.
Yeah, let me ask you this. On your post, how many of the response are like negative? All you guys, how many of it is negative? Because, I don't know about you, but like I can kind of sense when somebody's, BSing. As a guy who's been on stage, and entertaining in Hawaii for over 30 years, I wouldn't be on stage or in this career for 30 years if I was lying. You know what I mean? And I how do you manage that? When people are saying you lie, you tell it. What do you guys do? How do you respond to that? Mark, you want to?
How would I respond to that?
Yeah.
I can be real honest right now.
Okay. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah, first of all, I do get offended. I get butt hurt. Who doesn't get butt hurt?
Right.
It's the truth. But I deal with it because I know I have to deal with it in order to get to where I'm supposed to be. And to me, it's worth it going through, all the negativity to reach people. That's just a part of it. It comes with the territory, and I think it's worth it. I get emotional when she was reading about, my bio, because it's about helping people. Even if I got to go get drugged through the mud and stuff and get my feelings hurt. Yeah. But throughout the years, it's built up my character and my tolerance. And, I praise God for that, because without him, I couldn't do him.
Yeah, you'll make a good politician one day.
Hint, hint.
There you go.
Mike, you want to jump on that one?
Well, it comes down to, first of all, believing in your convictions, and sticking to them. Don't change your principles just because somebody said something bad.
Right.
The second of all is like you said earlier, you have to be truthful. If you're truthful about the situation, whether you're correct or not, but as long as you're true to yourself, then you can't go really wrong with dealing with people. I see so many negative comments, bitter, upset people who, are defending the wrong things or coming at things the wrong way. They don't see the whole thing. They don't see the whole picture sometimes. They just see a small bit of it. So just explaining, being truthful.
Anela, how do you do with it?
I get butthurt sometimes too.
You're being truthful.
But I know that anger is secondary, so they're actually hurt or sad about something deeper that they don't know how to communicate to me.
Right.
So I think that if I can figure out what it is, I can help bridge that path for us.
Nice.
Okay, that's called emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And that's how you deal with it.
Yes.
Is you don't look at their anger and their frustration. You look at what are they really trying to say, even though they can't express it.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to common sense conversations.
We're talking social media today because, that's not only the craze, but like a lot of people, I know in my house, we don't have like TV. We're getting everything off the web, YouTube. All my live updates on news, I just go on my YouTube, I hit the live, could be national news, could be local news, could be stuff that you guys are saying, and I'm getting information like right there, which is kind of cool, because, sorry, but like, I'm showing my age, but like I'm in my 50s, and we never got information that way. And I had to learn about social media. In fact, my next special is called I Was Famous Before the Internet. We had to go, put stuff on walls so that
Hard
people
work.
know, he performing this week. But now you do a couple of videos, maybe put on a wig, act stupid, and you just go viral. And it's very tricky because it can be used wisely and can be used, to hurt and offend people. That's why I appreciate you guys. That's why I invited you guys here. You guys all bring a special thing to the internet and what your services you provide for, local people in general. I know Malia has a question.
Oh, I do, but I just wanted to say, if for the people that are just tuning in, who we have here.
Yes. Yeah, we have Mike Talaeai, Mr. Mean Hawaii, Michael Kitchens from Stolen Stuff Hawaii, and Anela Lee, influencer. A lot of good stuff coming out of her, and explaining the bills that it's going through right now, the House and the Senate. So,
well, one question I did have is,
Yeah.
I know we talk about the hard things that you just talked about, the hard things that you've had to deal with, like mean people. Not like mean, but mean, really mean people, bullies. But what about making a huge impact? Has there been a time where you've made like either a little impact or a big impact where you're like, this is why I do this. This is, this is something that has made a change, or it fills my heart, or just, it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but is there something that happened that makes you just feel good about what you're doing? So
I'm going to try to say this without crying. Believe it or not, there's a few people you wouldn't be able to tell because they're always smiling and laughing in their videos and their pictures, but they would reach out to me because they're suffering from depression and they're always dealing with the thought of suicide. And I would always give them my number and say, anytime you guys need to talk and stuff. And to this day, they're still around. And, I thank God for giving me this platform to help people, because there's thousands of people, And amongst all the thousands of people, there's people suffering, internally every day. They smile and they got to deal with their depression and, just the thoughts, the darkness. It can be suffocating because I went through depression myself, and it's suffocating. It just smothers you. It just encompasses you, and I feel for those kind of people, and I deal with. I take on a lot of emotions because it's not just those people who are depressed. It's other people too dealing with actual suicide in their family and stuff, and murders, and there's some things that I can't share, and I never shared for years because people trusted me with these things, and it had to deal with like death and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's hit upon a good point. What people see on the front page, of our social media is just only a very small part of it. I quite literally have thousands of messages from people who have called or asked for help. All times of night, I'll get messages at 3:30 in the morning. Hey, man, I need help. And that's, I think, when you ask, well, what is the good part? What do you really enjoy? And that's the fact that I help somebody. That's what I live on. It's not the media attention or any of that stuff like that. It's just, did we help somebody? And I'm sure Mark, with the user base that he has probably helped many, thousands of people. You can't even count it anymore. Just scrolling through our message, it's just a list of people scrolling by, of people that we deal with.
Yeah, no, Mark. Mike has helped me find dogs in my community.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're talking about positive stories. Right. I go, hey, Mike, can you help me out? This guy is he's losing his mind. His dog is missing, and they found the dog. And
that's awesome.
I give you credit, but I felt pretty good that I was connected to.
Yeah.
It's community power. The people.
Network.
That's like losing a family member.
Right.
Did you know?
It's true.
We just got a dog.
Anela?
Some people have told me that they testified for the first time, which really brought tears to my eyes because that's the main reason why I was making these videos. And then I've had some single moms say, thank you for posting because it gives me hope. And I feel like if I can do it, anybody can. It's just me and my girls, so.
So what compelled you to wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to start, explaining Senate bills, right? I'm going to try to make sense, what compelled you to do that? What, gave you the drive to do that?
I was just tired of seeing one side. And I thought that there was a different way we could communicate these bills and make it easy for people to understand because they're busy working. They don't want to have to drive to the Capitol to see what's going on. And it was a struggle between myself because on one hand, I was like, do it. On the other hand, I was like, no, it's not. That's terrifying to put myself out there and be vulnerable. But I took the leap and then now I'm here.
Yeah.
And now I have to reevaluate and be like, okay, what am I doing?
Yeah.
We just did a whole niche switch from photography, content creation to now educating on these bills that are coming out. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So let me ask you this, for the people who don't disagree with you, because there's a lot. I mean, how many are you seeing maybe right there in the middle? Because we know, I watch your stuff, and if you're not a certain side of on the table, it can be like, wow, who she is, on female version of Trump, or you can. So, are you seeing more people maybe that agree with you that maybe not Republican, but more in the middle? They go, hey, that makes sense. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know, or because I think we have so much in common. That's why, when I talk to people, that's why I love when I ran as a nonpartisan, because I see both sides of the spectrum. So you pushing a lot of stuff that maybe one party agree upon, but then are you finding people that go, wow, that made sense?
I am.
Yeah.
I'll get many messages like that, oh, thank you for explaining it that way because now I understand. I do get a lot of people that agree, but the ones that don't agree, I try to find the bottom line for both of us.
Right.
Where, if you take out the fluff, what do we actually want? And when you boil it down, we both want the same thing, a better island for all of us.
Ah, yeah.
But
That
we
makes
just
sense,
go
yeah.
about it in different ways.
Yeah, of course.
So like one person will say 12 eggs and the other person will say a dozen. You're saying the same thing, just in a
That's a
different
lot of
way.
money.
It's a lot.
I love that.
That's your whole paycheck.
What about you, Mike? I mean, you're very neutral. You're very neutral. You know, we've had many conversations about, you know, ideals, and you're very neutral. What about you?
I do consider myself nonpartisan. Right now, I'm leaning a certain way because it's my convictions, essentially.
Sure.
But when
Yeah,
it comes
yeah.
down to it, I just want what's right, what I feel is right. You know, not necessarily politically or anything, but just, you know, hey, what's the good thing to do here? You know, what's going to help benefit all of us, or not just individually. You know?
Yeah.
So that's where I come from when it comes to these things. And I think honestly, when people put down their pitchforks and whatnot, and they actually think about issues, sometimes I think they realize that, you know, they agree more on what they actually admit to. So I think, you know, we all know what the truth is, right? Sometimes,
Right.
so.
And it's so crazy, right? Because we live in a society that almost cannot agree to disagree now. We can't even have a conversation.
It's bad.
You know what I mean? Like, and when you finally do have a conversation, you realize, man, we're so much alike. You know, but like, can you actually sit down with me, look me in the eye, and just have a conversation?
I think that's changed. I have an off-topic group, which is where it's insane. And, you know, people have lost the ability to just have a civil conversation.
Right.
You know, we really need to get back to that. I think that's one of the biggest things.
Right. Yeah. Common sense. Right. And we can solve a lot of the challenges and the problems in the world. We just can sit down, take a look, right, and find ways we can agree. You know, and I just think we have an opportunity. I think, and you guys are leading the way with like showing a different side, because people are not watching, you know, the mainstream media. People, they're listening to talk shows, they're watching podcasts, they're watching posts, they're watching reels, you know. So, you know, you guys bring a lot to the table.
I agree on his food videos.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
I love it.
I probably gained at least 5-10 pounds watching those.
Augie, I think you bring up a good point, which is that the news, you know, people aren't watching the news, right? And you guys are moving so fast. I know when people started going on the internet, the news was like, or the Instagram or whatever, they were just blowing you off. And now they're looking at you for stories, right? And now you guys are leading the way. And that's probably was their fear. You're moving faster than they could ever move. And so what do you think of that? Have you you know, the news getting involved? They've used your posts or
Yes.
getting your information from you. I mean, how does that work?
Speed. Yeah, I love the speed.
Yeah.
You know, that's why when I started posting breaking news, I think one of the biggest stories I ever followed was her name was Thelma. She got murdered on the North Shore. So I got the video firsthand, and I was like, I thought the guy was joking. He said, I'll offer anybody $50,000 if you help me find this person killed my wife.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember
and-
that post. That's how we connected, actually.
Yeah, and so because of that video, I stayed on it, and I kept posting updates all the way till they got caught at the theaters in Mililani. And I swear I had like 20,000 new followers within like a day. And a lot of them was the news outlets like, you know, KITV,
Yeah.
KHON, and all of that. And I think because the Coconut Wireless, the people, they're the eyes all over the place. So they look into where they can tell their story. So they would.
Yep.
So we're the outlets, you know, and then we faster than the news, and that's what the
When
news.
we come back, we're going to talk about how you guys decipher the truth and the fakeness, right? Because people can be sending you stuff that's not true.
Right, true.
Right? And then you put something up and it can just bust your reputation. So we'll talk a little bit about that. How do you go, okay, this is something I got to go with? How do you make that decision? We have Mr. Mean Hawaii, Stolen Stuff Hawaii, and Anela Lee, who's educating not only young women, but like everyone. I mean, we're fans, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
You know, I got to say hi to Steve Yoda on Kauai. He's enjoying the show. What's up, Steve? Thank you for tuning in. But we do have a caller, Richard from Manoa. He has two questions. Richard, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Augie. And let's see. The first one was I went to the Aloha Stadium briefing,
Okay.
and Stanford Carr said he's absolutely not in favor of increasing the bathroom sizes for women. I suggested 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's common sense because you know how long the lines are.
Sure.
And then the other one was what would be the most effective way for the people to get their feelings known on the 40% increase for like the governor and the ledge? They want to get that much more money. Yeah.
No, that's
Like,
both great questions, Richard. I appreciate you calling in and listening. Mark, Anela, I don't know if Mike, have you touched on the pay raises with our state officials?
I generally try to avoid politics when it comes to that stuff. I honestly, when it comes down to it, is they have to look at whether or not the pay raises are justified. Are they doing a good job? It's up to the people to decide that.
Sure.
I think and the people are the ones that need to decide that.
All right. I know Mark has posted, and I know you've talked about it. And what is the feedback?
A lot of
upset people.
Yeah, a lot of angry people. Like, what? You guys that's some big raise. You guys already getting paid plenty for just working 4 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate, guys.
I think that's it right there. Like I said, it's up to the people. How do the people feel about it? What's their initial reaction to it?
Oh, it's pretty amazing. When it happened at the city council, couple things. I wasn't against a raise because I understand, because I know we live in a city and a state that's expensive. But again, I also understood why I ran for office. It was a calling. It wasn't a job. It's not. And this is where I believe we should have term limits, because you get 2 terms to really, really work hard and getting things done, right? I mean, you maybe get a chance for win your 1 term, and then you gotta work hard in trying to get to your second one, and by then you should kind of understand how things run. And for me, it was like, you sit there and there's so much needs in the community, and if we're really serving the public, are we really doing our due diligence by taking something so outrageous? I believe in leading by example. And I got attacked from all kind of ways. Like I heard stuff like, well, we're trying to find the best and the brightest, and I would say, on the news, well, when did the best and the brightest ever solve the problems of government? And then, we want to work. Want you guys to work longer hours, and you guys got to be working full time, and we do, but I knew what I was getting myself into when I ran for office. I knew I was going to get this much money, then I can work around it, because my job or my duties for 4 years was to serve, and work around my challenges. Meaning, that's why I said from the beginning, I can do everything that I love doing and still serve my community. You know what I mean? And what are you hearing, Anela, on your post when you talk about, the raise that our state lawmakers are getting?
I hear a lot of people saying that they didn't receive hazard pay from COVID. So they're like, if we haven't received that yet, and we worked during that time, and you guys are getting raises now, when will we see our 10,000, 20,000 in hazard pay?
Yeah, no, it's tricky, because again, I think people, see lawmakers or public servants as people, that's why it's called public servant. Right? So it's challenging, but again, until we let the people decide, a lot of this stuff, decisions are made by commissions, right? That is usually appointed by the public servants or the lawmakers, right? That get it to the point where we're looking out for the best interest because we really want to put the best people in office. That's the thinking, right? And I just never believed that. and I did it. I just stick to my morals. I could have easily played the game. You get in there, it's easy to compromise. But man, when you hear the challenges in our city or in our state, you hear that people are living paycheck to paycheck, and when you find out that the groundskeeper make how much, wow, who wants to be groundskeepers? Who wants to be servants in a city when you don't even get paid to enough to take care of your family? So it's challenging. And I get it. People are upset with, a lot of things. And that's why, it's so important. The reason why I'm doing this show, and the reason why they're doing what they're doing is because we want to push out information so that you not only, get mad, but, get involved. And that's the key thing, is getting involved. That's the reason we were able to find a missing dog, because you got involved. You heard something. You saw something on social media. You went, I'm going to respond. I'm going to do things, right? And we got to do that. And that's why this is so important. So that's why I appreciate it. That's why we needed to do, a social media day.
Hey, Augie, I got a question for them. Was there something that happened that you decided that was what made you do what you did? What was the final thing or the thing that made you say, Mike, Michael, I'm going to start Stolen Stuff Hawaii because what? You got something stolen? Or Mr. Mean, you got bullied? Or Anela, you saw something that you wanted to be better for your daughters? Or what was that one thing, going back to whatever it was that you started that you made you say, hey, this is what I need to do. I need to start this page. I need to start this movement.
Well, for me, it was just because my brother-in-law, he got his van stolen. He's a landscaper, just like you did a groundskeeper. 12 years worth
Work
of
hard,
tools.
right?
Yeah. Tools. You know how long it takes you to accumulate all your tools when you do a job like that? His whole van got swiped. I posted on my little dinky profile page, and I got a couple people say, "Oh man, that sucks," and I'm just like, "Man, this is a really good idea. How do I get this out there to people though?" And that's what started it. For me, it's a personal thing. I think that's what happens with a lot of people.
Sure.
There's a personal conviction that they have, and they just let me see if anybody else agrees with me on this, and then if it's a good idea, it works. I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about you, Mark?
So I started off my page just goofing around with memes. I didn't know what memes were. I was like, wow, that's funny. Then it just started growing. It started growing after this guy said, can you post this? My dog missing.
Yeah.
So I posted it, and then because of that post, his dog was found. And then I was eating one night at Zippy's in Wahiawa, and this guy came up to me. He goes, hey, thank you. I found my dog because of your post, and he even paid for my dinner. And I was like, wow. I told my wife, wow, that's cool, yeah? That's the guy's dog. So people started sending me their posts. Oh, my car got stolen. My house got broken. And I was just on hub for everybody to just come. And that's when I started just growing. Yeah. And not only that, I still resort back to funny stuff because I like to laugh.
Of course.
But, helping people.
Awesome. Anela?
I have to find a way to take complex ideas and simplify them for my daughters for homeschool. So that's why I started doing that with the bills. And then my daughter would make a bunch of videos and read from a teleprompter to help with her communication skills and then reading. And I realized that I wasn't doing it because I was afraid. So I was like, how can I have my daughter do this and be this not afraid person? But here I am afraid. So I was like, I need to step into that and be empowered and show her by leading by example.
That's awesome. You know what I did learn when I decided not to take the race? As I walked around the community or I got stuff off of social media, people would just say thank you. And I'll be like, thank you. Wow, they say thank you for doing what's right. And then I realized that we have a broken system, that people have lost hope. Because mind you, I read everything that people said about me when I was running for office. It wasn't nice.
I'm sorry.
No. So you know what I mean? But it's amazing how when you just tell the truth, right? And there's common sense and there's something that you can connect with people, you find out so much. And I found out that people have lost hope. So what you guys are doing is awesome because you guys are bringing hope and you guys are bringing information that's much needed, and dude, I appreciate you guys. If you want to call, okay, because we're going to wrap this up on the next break, and I want you guys to start thinking about, what other benefits do you see, from social media, or how do you see social media changing the future? Okay, that's the next question. You guys be thinking about it. Or if you have a question, 808-913-6450. It's Augie, Malia. This is The Right Side, a common sense conversation.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to common sense conversations.
It's a common sense conversation, guys. And we're going to wrap things up in a couple of minutes. This is our last break. I want to thank Mark Talaeai. Thank you, Michael Kitchens. Thank you, Anela Lee, for hanging out with us today and talking social media. So important in this day and age. That's where people get all the information. Like I said, I go home, I have a TV, and it's all apps. And I go, click, and I go, okay, I got my news. Or when I'm driving into, work, doing my morning show on Decades 107.9, all I need is give me a summary. I don't want to watch 30 minutes of news. Give me a summary of things that I need. And that's what you guys provide. And I really appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with me. Maybe we'll do this again. What do you think, Malia?
I think we should do.
By the way, who's our guest next week?
Next week is still in the works, but
Okay.
I can tell you that coming up, we do have Dita Hollifield, who
All right.
is
All
a
right,
celebrity.
Dita.
Everybody
Yes.
loves Dita.
Yeah.
She's now the Department of Enterprise Services, so she's in charge of everything fun in the city.
Correct.
And then we're going to have the Honolulu Zoo
Oh,
come
nice.
and talk
You
about...
mean animals going to be in the studio? I
Yes.
cannot wait.
Yes. We're going to bring an elephant, a donkey, let them have it out.
808-913-6450. Okay, guys, last two questions. And if, we run out of time, we run out of time. Like I said, I just appreciate you guys coming on. But what are other benefits do you see from social media, besides connecting with others, building social movements, learning, creative expression?
I see it mainly for entertaining, educating, and inspiring. So some of the content we put out could inspire somebody else to speak up or do something in a different way that benefits the community.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good summary. I'm done.
I love that. What she said.
Okay, so look like the guys are not jumping on down. Okay, I'm gonna change the question. Already, how do you see social media changing the future? Because man, this morning I was on X, and there's Grok or something. What's it called? Grok. And Chaz and I were like talking to an AI that was kind of cool. Yeah, asking them questions and
Scary.
yeah, it is scary.
Skynet.
Yeah?
Here we go.
So that for me, it's like ooh. Man, I'm learning just, like asked a really simple question and was answered because I knew the answer, but I just wanted to see, how accurate this AI was because, we talked to Siri, right? Remember Siri first came on, we would talk to Siri.
I'm an Android, sorry.
Okay, so how do you see social media change in the future? Who wants to jump on that one?
Well, I think honestly, it's just going to get bigger and more powerful, and it is the new news essentially. I think it is. I think we're going to see less the major news outlets really have an effect because those are very controlled, and just like doing this radio show, it's truthful.
Right.
It's you're getting it from somebody who's probably more close to the situation than most people are. And it's a person that people will go to and learn to trust because they've seen what his content is. And he's not being controlled by any big corporation or her. It's just their truth themselves.
Yeah. Mark?
You willed it correctly. You can spark movements.
Right. Oh,
yeah. Yes.
Great movements. Like this, the red wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, well, I also see for me, I try to limit my views on social media only because it's so distracting. After a long day, and the reason why I went back to do comedy and I love doing radio is because when you sit in a hearing for 6 hours, man, your brain can explode. You know what I mean? And then the last thing my wife needs to see is me on Instagram looking at stuff. So I can see how, man, is so much noise, right? I mean, you can be consumed by it, right? I mean, are you thinking about what I gotta talk about tonight? Oh, who I gotta go see? And are you constantly searching for topics so that you can keep people informed?
Yeah, I do a lot of searching, and a lot of stuff is sent in to me. And there's just, my mind is like, it's not just focus on one thing. I find a lot of things interesting, and I find a lot of things interesting that's on Facebook, different demographics.
Are you still on Facebook?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's us older guys.
I'm just joking.
TikTok and Instagram. There's so much stuff out there. You'll never run out of anything to post. Just go find them.
Did anybody accuse you guys of maybe too much and influencing people the wrong way?
For me, it's been a real shift because my off-topic group, a lot of politics go on, and people see that I have currently, I have some conservative leanings.
Yes.
Whereas SSH, I've always been neutral. I am completely neutral in SSH. I never take a side, left or right. It's just about, hey, are you civil? What's this about? Let's help somebody, right? And then I off topic express myself a little bit more. And some people are like, "Whoa, I didn't know about you." And just
but it's so needed. You know what I mean? It's like this. That's why you are blowing up, because it's so needed. Common sense.
Yes.
So needed.
I'd had some people say that I was bought, so that's why I made a video addressing that immediately. That I haven't received.
Okay, what was that? You were
bought? Like, who paid for this video to be made? And I was like, nobody.
Yeah.
And I just want to make it very clear, I won't accept any money for these videos, and no one will ever pay me to say what I'm gonna say.
That is awesome.
Well, I like that video you did. I watched it today of you talking about yourself, your daughter, your stay-at-home mom, like your introductory video.
Oh,
that
yes.
was a cool idea.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. People nosy. You remember being half Portuguese, people like, oh, Portuguese is so nosy. Now everybody's Portuguese. Everybody wants to be involved in everybody's business, and which is cool. Because, again, you're getting information from more than just one source. You're getting information from a lot of sources. And you guys are doing a great job in informing the public. And I want to thank you guys again for, coming on and expressing, sharing your views. And I wish you guys continued success.
Well, what is their handles? I mean, if people
that's
are,
right.
like,
How's that? I forget.
If people are here listening
Coming
to them,
CB handles. I forgot about the handles.
if you're coming for the first time, how can they follow you?
We
if
got
people don't know
56
you?
seconds. Go, Mark.
Me in Hawaii. You can find me on Instagram. Me in Hawaii.
Stolen Stuff Hawaii. You can find on Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Instagram, TikTok, Anela Lee official.
Okay. And at Augie T.
Yeah, I was watching you this morning.
My handle.
And Augie T.
Yeah, what about
Augie
you,
Tulba,
Malia? You might as
H&L.
well. You might as well do yours. What is yours?
And the city council, Augie Tulba,
yeah.
H&L.
Follow my
right?
city council stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of great information about
Yes.
city stuff. And if you come look at the wacky stuff, you can come. Or I started doing my Bible studies daily. I lost a lot of people, by the way. And what? He's following Jesus. I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? But, they all came back. So anyway, yeah. Appreciate you guys. Join us next week for more The Right Side, a common sense conversation. Thank you, Malia, for putting this together. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.